Hello there and welcome back. This is going to be also another Wooey video. So technically what I would like to do is to install Ansible and create a Python wrapper script to execute a specific Ansible playbook. So that way we have like a web interface to execute Ansible playbooks. And here is how this will go. I have my CentOS A and CentOS B machine. The CentOS B is responsible for hosting Wooey. And what I would like to do is to install the Apple release. And once this repository is installed, we should be able to install Ansible. Let's give it a bit of time, and after that we will technically go ahead and create the Python script and then create the playbook for that. So there are many different ways to use Ansible, and I think so Ansible basically is an automation framework created by Red Hat. Let's see. Custom facts, install Apache, install package. Which one should we install? Okay, now it is installing Ansible. Test service. Create. No. I'm looking for an example, maybe. Or just let's say we want to install a package. Yeah, that should do it. So in order to do that, first we have to make sure that Ansible is configured. And what we want to do is to make sure we have passwordless authentication between the hosts. So on the CentOS 8B, if I SSH into the CentOS 8A, alright, I have passwordless authentication, and that is because my keys are appropriately set up. So now if I go ahead and basically navigate to the ansible.cfg, and let's initialize the configuration. So paste it, copy and paste the path, and now revisit it. So auto add is the auto host key addition. Let's make it true, and public key, no, come on. Okay, that's the SSH. Let's see if we have a key. Private key file. This should be it. And ls-l home reaper py.ssh id rsa. This is the one that should be used. Okay, and we need the etc Ansible hosts, and let's create two groups. One should be Windows and the other should be Linux. Windows, and in the Linux group we have CentOS 8A, CentOS 8B, and we should be able to use the Ansible-m ping Linux. Yes. Yes. Great. So now it is set up, and we want to go ahead and create our Python script. But first we have to create our playbook. Let's create a folder called plays, and inside this folder let's create a manage package.yaml, and this is going to be an Ansible playbook. And for the hosts we have to specify a host name, and the become should be yes, and the gather facts should be no, and the tasks should be as follows. So the task should have a name, and technically we have to make sure that here we meant here we say what we want to do and with what. So I mean deploy package, undeploy package, and so on. And here is how we could do it. Let's say that the state is the package should have state. So this means that if I specify package name and let's say present, then it should be present. If the package name should be absent, it should be absent. So now we can use our Ansible yum package. I think we have a yum module for Ansible. Yes, we do. And technically here are some examples that we can use, and this should be fine. So let's copy it. But basically it has the yum, and the name is package, and the state should be state. So now if I go ahead and execute my playbook, Ansible playbook manage package, I have to specify the host name, which is CentOS 8B, and the package, which should be wget, and the state, which should be present. And wget should be present. Now it will try to log in to my machine and get the package deployed. If it's not present, if it's present, it should be able to identify it. So now we can see that the package was successfully installed, and we have the absent. Okay, and now we don't have wget. Alright, so from here on we have to go ahead and create our Python script. How do we do that? Ansible should be able to help us. Now we navigate to the demo, and here we create the manage package.py, and we import the argparse module and the sys module, and the parser should be argparse argument parser, and the description should be managing packages, and the parser should have an argument which is going to be dash hostname, and the type is going to be string, and the help should say that where you want to manage the package. And let me turn off my camera, and then what we will do is to say that this is a required argument. Alright, now we have the parser add argument, and let's call this package, and the type is going to be string, and the help is the package you want to manage, and the required is going to be true, and the parser add argument and the state, where the type is going to be str, and the help will say that the state of the package, and the required is true, and the choices should be as follows. So a package can either be absent, present, or latest. So absent means the package will be removed. The present means that the package will be installed. If we already have a version installed, it will say it's okay. And if we specify the latest, it will check whether it's the latest version or not. If not, it will update it. So now here comes the part when we try to conform it to the Wooey web framework. We will have a main function, and if the underscore name is equal to main, then we call the sys.exit main. Okay, the arguments are going to come from the parser.parse args, and for now, let's say we want to verify that it is working properly just by giving it a test execution. So Python 3.6 manage package, and if we specify the hostname, send to 8b, and the package wget, and the state present, then we get this information. This should be passed along to a playbook of ours, and I'm going to look for a repository, and basically I want to make sure that we are able to appropriately run the Ansible playbook, and for that what we will do is to go ahead and create a subprocess. And inside this subprocess, here is what we will do. So let's call this action item. And this will come from the subprocess.popen. And for this to work, we need to know where the Ansible executable lives. It's under the user bin Ansible. And where the playbook lives, it's the same location. So now I would like to go back and craft my command. So for the popen, we have to specify a list. So let's make this list. First one is the command that we want to run. Then we have to specify the location of the playbook. So ls-l home reaper.py plays manage package.yaml, and then we have to specify -e and then an f string where the host name is equal to args hostname, and then -e and an f string where package is equal to arguments.package, and -e where and the state equals args.state, and this is also going to be an f string. Let's see the command that we want to perform. Alright. User bin Ansible playbook manage hostname cent08b. Is it similar to what we executed? -e hostname package and state. Great. So now we can continue with the development of our playbook, of our script. And in order to get an output from this popen, here is what we have to do. We pass the command that we want to execute, and we want to use the stdout equals subprocess pipe. Then action item out and action item error is going to come from the action item dot communicate. All right. And now we want to get the action item return code. Okay. Let's print it. Let's just make sure that we have one there. Subprocess return code example. How to get the exit code, Stack Overflow, my favorite place. When it's done. Okay. Now we will try to execute it. So manage package, arguments, action items, and let's see, wget state present. And if everything goes well behind the scenes, an Ansible playbook is running with the appropriate arguments, and we should get a return code, which was 0. If we want, we can also have the standard output and the standard error. So basically, output is action item out point decode, and the out r is action item r decode, and if output, then print well, let's just print the output, and let's return 0 if rather than if error out r, then we print the out r and then return 0. Here we return -1. Okay, let's see. Now we should be able to see the corresponding Ansible output. But there is this flaw in the logic. Basically, we should say that if the action item that return code is equal to 0, then we want to output the output.decode, and then no, we don't need it. We need the action item out decode, and we throw away this line and return 0. Otherwise, we want to use the action item out decode, and instead of it, this is going to be the error and then -1. Let's see. So the problem here was that we tried to decode whatever is in the output error. I forgot this line here. So we don't need the command, we don't need this one, and we don't need this one. So we tried to decode something which was literally an empty byte string or byte code, and that threw an error. Voila! So now, let's see if I specify. So now I should be able to use wget, and if I say it's absent, it should be able to delete it. Okay, and now I will specify a whatever package. Let's see how this goes. Well, the uninstall worked because it was never present, so that was a bad idea. Let's say that we want this on the latest version. It should error. Yeah. I think I know the problem. Let's call this out as well. maybe the pipe is sending the error. To that place, but now we have like a conscience output. So because of the subprocess pipe, whatever goes to the error stream will go to the action item out, but nevertheless now it's working properly. And basically what we can do now, if everything goes well, is to go ahead and try to add it to the application. So Python 3.3, sorry, I should activate my virtual environment. So source woo bin activate and Python 3.6 demo manage manage.py add script and manage package. Great! Now we have the Python script in the Wooey web framework. Let's check it. I want to reload this page, and now, as you can see, we have the manage package. Let's give it a test drive. So where do I want to manage the package? We call this CentOS 8a, and the package is going to be wget, and the state is going to be present. So check if wget can be installed. Let's submit it. Now it's currently in the queue, and as you can see, it is executing. And if I go to my CentOS 8a machine, what do we have here? We don't have wget at the moment because it's currently, I think, running yum. Or not. It's still in the queue. It's the job. Let's give it just some time. Top. Platform Python bundle. It seems to be doing something. Let's give it a bit more time. These are the previous ones results. Now we have the manage package. It is still doing something. Or not anymore. Ho ho! And it was now successful. And we have successfully installed wget. Great! Let's install wget on my CentOS B machine. And we should say that it should be present. Install another wget. All right. Yeah, and it was slow because the machine was not started, like I think a few weeks ago, and basically it had to refresh the YAM cache, and I'm using MobileNet. So now we have this one installed, and let's see what happens when I try to install a package on the CentOS 8A machine, which is not going to be found, hopefully. I'm just curious to see how the return code shows, and it says it failed, and basically it was not able to install it. Alright, and there is another bonus. So if we go back to our Ansible machine and issue the Ansible-m ping Linux, you can see that every host in the group is going to be pinged. And from that analogy, if I write here on the Linux in the hostname Linux, and I say that I want the wget appsent, it will iterate over every host in the group and remove it. So remove wget from everywhere and submit it. Alright. And if it goes well, we should get back a success, and then see that wget was removed from both of the machines. So wget is not found, and wget is not found. So technically that was all I wanted to show you. It is pretty easy to combine Ansible and Python and Wooey. You just have to make sure that you use the subprocess appropriately, and you can use the flexibility of Python and the flexibility of Ansible to create something pretty cool, in my opinion. So technically that was all. See you in the next one.